Hi everyone, it's Jack from Jack's English, and today I'm going to teach you how to answer the dreaded passport control question. This is the traveler's worst nightmare. You go through passport control, you're hoping that you're just going to give them your passport and they'll stamp it and you'll go through, but then they ask you questions. This is very common in England. They very often ask questions to determine your purpose, what you're doing there, why you're there. And it's very hard, it's very stressful. So in this lesson, I'm going to help you deal with that. And we're going to look at the 5 most common and most important passport control questions. In order to help you with this, I'm going to not only tell you how to answer the question, but also why they ask the question. This way you know their intention and you will be able to answer appropriately. So let's take a look at our first passport control question. Number 1, what is the purpose of your trip? So here they simply want to know why you're in the country. What are you doing? So how do we answer this question? Firstly, you don't need to be detailed, answer very directly. And this is the structure that I want you to use. I will be verbing. This is the future continuous. I'm not going to give you a lesson on the future continuous now, but just so that you know, we use the future continuous to show that an action has some duration. It's a long action in the future. So in this case, it's very appropriate to say, I will be verbing when referring to the actions you will be doing in the country during your stay. So here are some example answers. I'll be travelling around London and meeting some friends. I'm going to be studying English in a language school for 3 months. Now you'll notice that I used I will be verbing and I'm going to be verbing. There is no difference in meaning when using the future continuous. They have the same meaning. Choose the one that's comfortable for you. Also, notice that I answered very directly. I didn't say around 3 months or I may be travelling. I answer very directly so that it's clear for the passport control staff. Question 2. Do you have anything to declare? They ask this question to check that you have anything illegal or an illegal quantity of something. So for example, maybe you're allowed 1 bottle of alcohol, but you have 2 bottles of alcohol, so you have to declare that item. Now, how do we answer this? Firstly, and this is the number 1 tip, do your homework and keep a list. What I mean is, make sure you find out what is legal and illegal in that country and then keep a list of the items you have. Again, it's very important to be direct. Don't beat around the bush. What I mean by that is, don't avoid answering the question. Don't try to add information in order to avoid the direct answer. You know, an example of beating around the bush would be, well, I may have something and I'm not sure if it's... You're not directly answering, okay? So don't beat around the bush, answer directly and make sure you do your homework. Question 3. How long do you intend to stay? They ask you this question to see if your visa is appropriate. In order to answer, I want you to use the grammar that you used in question 1. This is going to be a very common grammar structure in this interview, so try to memorize it, feel comfortable, and use it as much as you can in your answer. So in this case, an example would be, I will be staying here for a month. Or I'm going to be staying here for a month. Remember, there's no difference in these structures. Question 4. Where will you be staying? Now notice we're using that future continuous structure again. But why do they ask this question? When someone comes in the country and they don't seem to have a booking, they have no reservation somewhere, it's very suspicious. It seems like they have no plan and therefore have no plan to leave. So how you answer this question is very important. Firstly, be specific. If you're staying in a hotel, give the hotel name and the address. If you're staying in someone's house, again, give the exact address. Write it down, make sure you're prepared. An example answer would be, I'm staying in the Radisson Hotel located on Bond Street. Now you'll notice here I said the location because with some hotels they have multiple locations. Make sure you're specific, give the exact hotel, the exact location, and again, as I said, make sure you have that address written down. The final question I want to deal with today is, what is your occupation? Now, the reason they ask this question is to find out your economic status. They're trying to see, do you have enough money for this trip? Are you well prepared? So again, as with all of these questions, the most important thing is to be specific and answer directly. Otherwise, it looks suspicious. So to answer this question, firstly answer very directly and say I am and then say your occupation. For example, I am a teacher, I am a plumber, I am an accountant. And then it's probably best to add a bit of information to that. You can say where you work. For example, I am an accountant working in Samsung. If you have a job that's a little vague, for example, I'm self-employed, then you will have to give a bit more information. So don't just say, I'm self-employed. Try to add something like, I'm self-employed. I provide video editing services for small to medium-sized companies. Being specific will help the passport control understand exactly what you do, and it means you won't get so many follow-up questions, which of course is what we want. Okay, that's my passport control lesson. So these are my 5 most important passport control questions. You will get others, or you could get others, but if you get these 5 correct, then you are less likely to have follow-up questions and then go and have a dreaded interview before you get into the country. So don't forget, if you have any questions, any problems, let me know below and I will check that out and give you an answer. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please like this video if it was useful, because it helps my video grow and reach more students. Also, if you'd like to join me more in the future, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button. I hope you have a fantastic week this week, and I'll be back next week with more content. See you very soon. Bye bye.